Today I'm gonna try to answer some of the most asked questions about my hammock setup, and I want to thank Amok equipment for sponsoring this video, and therefore there will be a giveaway at the end of this video. You've probably seen it in some of my videos, but I try to use my hammock in different situations. Everything from camping at campsites, camping at the side of the road, wild camping. I even use it at my cabin, just relaxing outside, listening to my favorite podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Trail and Adventure Motorbike Podcast with me, Clive Barber, and my good mate, Noel Tom. For the days when you can't ride your bike, there's always the Trail and Adventure Motorbike Podcast.
And I think it's a really good setup for a lot of different use cases, and I get a lot of questions from you guys about how I use it in different situations, so I'll try to cover that as best as I can in this video. A question I get a lot is, what if it rains? So when it rains like this, I always start with the tarp first, so I can stand underneath it and put up my hammock without getting too wet. For my gloves and jacket and everything, I put it into my empty bags on my bike. My jacket and my boots, I put it underneath the hammock, so it's covered by the tarp and the hammock. If it rains, there is absolutely no issue at all. And if it's really poor weather, I have an extra tarp with me at all times, so I can put that up and store my equipment under that. Another question I get a lot is how to get in and out of the hammock without falling out. I see there's a lot of guys trying to back their way into the hammock like this and try to have it like this, and every time they sit down they just scoop under it and fall down to the ground. I found a way that I find to be really helpful. My right hand takes the rigid line and my left hand takes the inner lining on the left side. I even got our own separate video just about this. And I try to go in a 45 degree from the paddock, and I just sit in the middle. And I swing back, and when I swing back, I take off my Crocs and sit in. When I need to take a piss in the night, I just open it a little bit on the side, put my foot out, find my Crocs, and in out. I can even do this with a cup of coffee in my hand. Can I sleep on the ground with it if I don't have any trees around? And yes, you can. But it requires you to be a little bit creative and find some places where you can put up the side of the hammock so you get the bug net out of your face, or attach it to a pole or a bench over your bike or whatever. And just like that, I can sleep on the ground without the bug net hitting my face, and because of the hammock and pad is waterproof, I won't be wet on my back. And of course I can pitch the tarp over my bike as well, so I will be covered if it's raining. It's not ideal, but it's an option that it's quite easy to rig up and set up. And even easier when you want your morning coffee. How I get into my sleeping bag when I'm already inside the hammock. I take the zipper almost all the way down, and I put it inside the hammock on the side, the opposite side of where I'm gonna sit down. So when I'm inside the hammock and the sleeping bag on the side, I put my feet inside, I cover it, and then it's just a matter of leaning towards your shoulders and your heels of your foot and just scoop it under your buttocks, and then just adjust it a little bit from side to side. And then you can close your zipper. I also get the question how to undress and dress inside the hammock. And this is a little bit difficult to show on video, but I just do the same as I do with my sleeping bag. I sit like this and I just find the center of the hammock, and I take off my pants and I take off my jacket. So now I'm out of my clean pants, and I can drop it on the outside of the hammock, or I can just leave it inside. It depends on how cold it is. It doesn't bother me, and it just sits on the side of where I'm sleeping. It's all about finding the center of the hammock, where it's comfortable, where I can put up my legs, or I can sit up without it going. And it's quite stable, to be honest. It's not like you can probably feel like you are tipped one way or the other, but as long as you are situated or sitting right in the center of the rigid line, you can feel it, then it's no issue at all. And you ask me how I make my morning coffees without getting out of the hammock. And yeah, I have an old clip of that. Because there's no room behind here to actually film it, and I forgot to bring with me my Trangia. What is the easiest way to pack up the tarp? The material is quite slippery. I'm not sure the name of it. I always leave the green end, so I start with the red end, and I try to just take down the center and get so many anchor points as I can, just to make a little ball out of it. So I get a good starting point, and then I take that part and put it down in the bag. Now I have a good starting point, and then I just hold the bag with each arm, and I just feed it in with my fingers. I kind of hold it with my thumbs, and I just feed the material inside, and I just support it towards my stomach, and this makes it really easy, even if it's wet, to pack it in. And I always have the green line, the starboard side, at the top. So every time I open the bag with my tarp to set it up, that is available on the top of the bag. Do you have any other tips and tricks? Well, this is probably an easy one, but instead of using the peg in the ground with the loop from the tarp, I just feed it and make a loop, put it as a stopper, and now I can adjust it higher on a tree, so I don't need to put it onto the ground. I also use different points on my bike to secure it, or even down around my foot bags or my brake lever. Anything on the bike that just kind of sticks out, I can use to, so I just back my bike into to get a better anchor point for my tarp. I do think that covers most of the questions you have been asking me the last couple of years when I've been riding around with my Amok setup. And the only thing left now is the giveaway, and I don't like too much fuss about this kind of stuff, and neither do Amok, to be honest. And the only thing we want you to do is to leave a comment down below on this video to enter the giveaway. Simple as that. And I pick a random comment selector online to choose a winner in the next couple of weeks. Good luck everyone who wants to join, and yeah, take care, stay safe. I'll see you in the next one.